Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening from whichever part of the world you are joining. I'm so happy to connect with you all today. It's been a long time, I think almost 4 weeks since I was in my mental hibernation, so I was not coming live for quite some time. But I'm so glad to connect with you all today. And please write your name and say hello in chat in comments and which part of the world you are joining from. Right now I am live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, so whichever like platform you're using, you can write comments and I can see comments over here. So hi Rashid, hi Mira. Okay, you're joining from UAE, that's nice to see. So as people are joining, we'll welcome them. Those who are joining for the first time, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Neetu Choudhary. I speak to inspire. So whenever I'm speaking, I'm trying to inspire. If not, then I'll try to keep quiet. I'm a woman leadership coach, public speaking coach, presentation coach, and executive presence coach, motivational speaker, and corporate trainer. I help professionals to explore possibilities and opportunities, experience life, and evolve in life and evolve into something which is better than what you were yesterday. And I love whatever I'm doing in my life. I have started this series for the personal development now. So, this is the first episode of personal development, which we are doing today. It's about the time management. So, as I said, we are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. You can like post comments or see the content from any of these platforms. I'm coming live almost like after 4 to 5 weeks because I was on mental hibernation. And what is the reason of me going on that? I go on that mental hibernation frequently because we can manage our time more effectively when we take regular breaks. And when you go on mental hibernation, you come back more connected with yourself, you are more aware of yourself, you have more knowledge because you I spend that time in gaining my knowledge, connecting to myself, doing meditation and doing something that makes me happy and feel me good. I feel good about it. So mental hibernation, I go for it more frequently so that when I come back I'm more energetic, more enthusiastic, and I have something much more to give back to the world. Hi Harsha, hi Shubha, welcome. From which part of the world you're joining, please write in comments. And I'm so happy to see. Hi, Palash. Hi, Nathan, Gaurav, Soumya. It's nice to see your comments. So let's get started with our time management thing. I'll share something with you. Okay, so time management. I have a bad news for you all. You know what the bad news is? You cannot manage time, and still we are talking about it. Why you can't manage time? Because you can manage only yourself. There is no way that you can manage time. Time goes at its own pace. There is no way we can control it. What we can control it, how we think about it, and how we utilize it optimally to achieve what we want to achieve in that given time. And now I would not say that our time is limited or very very less time we have on earth. No, I would rather say it's a finite time. And how finite it could be, as you can see, the turtles, they live for more than 150 years, but we don't live, we live maximum 100 or like 100 or 110 maximum. So it's a finite time what we are having. And how much time do we have? 14, maybe 24 hours in a day we have, that is 1440 minutes, 8640 seconds we are having. And 54 weeks means 54 weekends only we are having in our hand. But it's not only, because if you utilize it optimally, you can do wonders in these 54 weeks. People, those who achieve their goals and those who do not, they all have 54 weeks, but still somebody is achieving everything they want to achieve, and some are still struggling to manage time rather than managing themselves. So, in the time management, couple of things are there. It's very important to understand. The first is that how important is something for you to do? How important is it? And the second factor is urgency. How urgent something you need to do. For example, if you have to spend time and energy in your personal development, is it important for you? Definitely it's important because it helps you to grow in your life. Is it urgent? Maybe for some people, yes, some people, no. Because They always think that, okay, it's a weekend classes, I would rather go for a party than attending the weekend classes, or working off after office hours to enhance my learning, or do some LinkedIn learning course or any other course. So urgency depends on different person. But there is another important factor in time management which we most of the time forget to talk about, and that is significance. Something may not be very urgent for you, like taking evening classes or studying on weekends or taking extra course or investing on your learning or development. It may not be urgent for you, but it is significant, because it's going to add the small step you take, the small courses you do, maybe 1 hour course every week you're taking. At the end of the year, you will surprise yourself that how significant improvement you have made. So the significance is a factor which most of the time people forget about when they talk about time management. They talk about importance, they talk about urgency, but the significance part is missing. So we have to consider this into factor, that how significant something is. It may not be urgent, but it is significant for us. So we have to start working on those small steps each day. And as I always say in all the live talks, all the training and keynotes, I say, every single step you take, that counts. Every single step. You may think that you are reading an article or reading a post of somebody, or you're reading a book, just one chapter of it, it's not going to add value to you. Everything you do, every single step you take, that adds value to your personal development, to your professional development, and helps you to achieve your goal, whatever your goal is in life. Keep learning, take small steps. Don't think of like a big thing in one day, because it's difficult to conquer a mountain in one day, but you conquer a mountain one step at a time. So start taking small steps right now. After this live talk, decide something, that this is what I am going to do today, no matter what, because it's significant for me. Maybe it's not urgent for me. So significance is a very important factor whenever you want to utilize your time effectively. So we'll see some of the tactics of the time management. But before I go into that, I would like to talk about something. How does our brain perceives time? It's very interesting to know that brain perceives time in a very different way that what our clock does, like tick tock, 24 hours. It doesn't do that way. There are few things that, like, first thing is the oddball effect. If anything which is different from our routine, we experience time is longer. So if you're going by a different route today, you will feel that it's taking longer time to go there. If you're watching a type of movie which you don't watch usually, you'll feel that it's a very long movie. If you're reading a book which you usually don't read, that kind of book, you will feel that that is taking longer time. Why? Because brain is trying to create new neural pathways, it's trying to create new connection in your brain, and it's trying to explore what is this new thing, I have never come across this. So it spends more detailed time into that. That's why we feel it's taking longer time, and this effect is called as oddball effect. Another factor is about the how brain sees time is pursuit of happiness. You would have seen that when you are very happy about something, time goes so fast. We don't even realize it. It's 1 hour or 1 day or 3 days or 10 years, right? So when we are happy, we don't realize how fast the time is going, because for our brain, it goes very fast. And it just opposite for the sadness or the fear. When we are sad, we are facing fear, we are frustrated. Every second, like, it looks like years. I remember once, I was not in mood to do something that day, and I was feeling a bit sad few years back. And I reached office at 7:30, and after 1 hour or 2 hour, when I looked at clock, and it was only 8 o'clock, and I said, oh god, time is going so slow today. After 1 hour, again I looked 1 hour from my brain. After 1 hour, when I looked at clock, and I said, okay, is it time to go home? It's only 9 o'clock. So I was, every minute I was counting that when time will finish and when I can go home. So I can understand that whenever we are feeling unhappy, sad, fear, frustration, time goes very slow in our brain. And when we are happy, it goes very fast. Other factor is time goes super, 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 super fast when we get something much more than our expectation. And I can easily correlate with this, my daughter, when we take her to any amusement park. No matter how much time we spend, even if we spend 3 hours, and she says, "It's just 5 minutes. We have just now come, and you're asking us to go." No, I'll spend 5 more minutes. And her 5 minute means another 1 hour for it. So when we are getting something much more than our expectation, time goes super fast in our brain because our brain is enjoying. It's getting dopamine rush in our brain. So we are very happy and it craves for more dopamine. So it just goes into that cycle. So see how the clock time, the 24 hours works so different from our brain, the how the brain perceives time. And it's very important to know because we cannot manage time. You cannot manage those 24-hour clock, but you can manage how you perceive time. You can manage yourself, you can manage your brain and how you see time. And once you manage yourself optimally, then you can manage time or anything you want in your life. So this is very important to understand whenever we want to talk about time management, how significant that task is and how our brain is perceiving it. So if you want to do something, if you make it interesting, time will go very fast and you will learn a lot. If you're bored and frustrated and you really don't want to do something, that 1 hour will look like 10 hours to you. So let's quickly see some of the strategies. There are a lot of strategies, a lot of science is there to support time management. But in favor of time, I have selected some of them, so I'll share with you today. The first one is the most important. Give yourself emotional permission to give time to things which is significantly important to you. So don't feel guilty if you have to miss a meeting and go for your child's sports function. You have to give yourself emotional permission because the more you resist, you are creating fear in brain, and that 1 hour meeting will look like 10 hours meeting, and after that you will be into guilt cycle again. So whatever you want to do, give yourself emotional permission to do something which is significantly important for you. It's not about hours or minutes or seconds. It's about how you think about time and how you want to manage yourself to utilize that time. The second tactic I would like to share with is a hyperbolic discount. It's also used with the concept that if you break bigger goals into smaller goals, it becomes much easier to achieve it. The reason is that when it's a very big goal is there, we wait for a very long time and in between we lose the enthusiasm to achieve that. But if we break that bigger goal into smaller goals, when we achieve that, any small goal we achieve, our brain secretes dopamine, and that helps us to get motivated to achieve the next goal and next goal, and this is how we can achieve bigger goals. So I always say, break your goals into small steps, take every single step on the way to your goal. Every single step counts because every time you achieve something, maybe you read an article today, you did something extra which you have not done yesterday, or you learned something new in Excel, or you did a good presentation today. Any small achievement you are having, you're getting enough dose of dopamine to push you forward for the next step and then following step. So this is a very good way of like achieving bigger goals. Break them down into smaller one. Hyperbolic discount. Other Another tactic which I love is that movement is not necessarily an achievement. We do a lot of things in a day. 80% of maybe not significant, 20% of them is significant, and that's the reason most people don't achieve results. So every moment you are doing, it's not an achievement. Focus your energy, especially early in the morning. Focus your energy on something that is more important, more significant, which will lead you to achievement, not only movement. So I want you to do one exercise today, all of you, those who are joining and those who are planning to see it later. Write down in a paper what all activities you do in a day, or you have done yesterday, or today you are doing. How many of them is only the movement, which is a you have to do, but you're not achieving anything out of it? And how many activities you are having which are actually contributing to achievement? And most of the time when we do this activity, it's 80-20. 80% of the tasks done by people are just the movement, but it's not an achievement. Only 20%, or maybe sometimes it's less also. 20% of the task is your achievement. So focus on that every moment is not an achievement. Put your energy on achievement, not only the moments. Another beautiful tactic: don't let your mouth burden your back. Don't say yes for everything. If it's time to say no because you're overburdened, or you want to prioritize, or you have something more significant to do, you can say no. Give yourself emotional permission to say no. Don't let your mouth burden your back. Don't say yes for everything. You have right to say no if you can't take it. Because if you take something which you are unable to do and you are not able to deliver, again you will go into the guilt trip. So rather, it's better to say no upfront, and like not to take that task if you don't have the bandwidth to finish that task. So don't let your mouth burden your back. Another one is, the last one is, delete to-do list. Don't stop making to-do list. I have done this and many people have tried this. When we make a to-do list, it's not very effective. The best way is to block your calendar, because we, as I said, that we have finite time, 24 hours we are having. And if we block a calendar, like first 1 hour of the day, like 10 to 11 is for doing this activity, 10 to 1 is doing for this activity, when we block it, it's called as time blocking. When we block the time, things gets done. But in to-do list, it's like a dream. We have it, but it's not something which you wake up and work on it. So delete all your to-do list, whatever you want to achieve. Block your calendar and do it. Like, I'll give example, one of the examples. I work 4.5 days, so I've decided that Mondays are dedicated for something like networking and connecting with people and replying to people. Fridays I have blocked complete day for my meditation, my reading books, so enhancing my own knowledge. Other than the other weekdays, Friday is dedicated full day for that. So you can decide that what works for you, but blocking the calendar is the most effective, much more effective than having a to-do list. And thank you so much. If you have any questions, please write. You can connect with me later as well. Time management, again, I'll say this again, and I can say this 100 million times. Time management is not about 24 hours. It's about how you think about it and how you manage yourself. It's about self management. Time management is all about self management. If you can manage yourself, if you can manage how your brain perceives time, you can do wonders in 24 hours. And if you are not doing it, this is a time to get started. Because small steps only, you take small steps to conquer a mountain. You can do anything you want to do by taking these small steps. All the best. Please connect with me, and I'm always there to help you. And a lot of free content is available on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, so you can watch that also. Thank you so much for joining today.